evening, everyone. It's just nice to see you all gathered here. Now, there's a lady at the back there, in the middle. She has a very strong presence. And she has the light hair there. Would you understand, my dear, at the back there? You have a big Indian standing there with you. He is very strong, and he is determined to want to take you into trance at some point and speak. So you are naturally gifted. That is another one, isn't it? Yes. Yes, she really is coming from the Indian lifetime. I see. She has the wolf next to her. She loves them, doesn't she? You like the wolves, don't you, my dear? Yes. We have a motherly lady with you, you know. And she is saying, you know, I am going to be proud of my girl because she is going to work with spirit, and she's going to also show the world that there is an afterlife. And so he is with you at this present moment, and there is an energy that is coming to you and coming to your chest because they see that you have had some problems there. And a little bit of a cough, would you understand?
Yes.
And every morning when you get up and when you lay down at night, this cough seems to proceed. And what they're saying is raise your pillows a little, you know. Don't lay so flat, because there seems to be, when you are laying flat, you feel as if you have fluid there. Yes. And the more you lay flat, the more you cough, and then you get the breathlessness. And then you end up getting up in the middle of the night. And you want to make yourself drinks, you see. So what they're saying is raise your pillows a bit. Don't lay too flat. And they are saying that when you lay on one side, there is pain. And I want to go to the hip, do you understand? And she is saying that, you know, you've got to look after yourself, darling, because you've got a lot of your mother's traits. And she doesn't want you to suffer. She says, you know, it's part of getting older, some of it, isn't it, you know, but you have a young mind. You see?
Big Chief Black Bear!
You see, he is with you. He was very determined. He was here from the start. So you can see how loud he's going to be, can't you? I'm sorry if he made you watch it. That's how he's going to be, you see. He's very loud. He's very loud, but I will not let him speak too much. Now, do you know about the Indians? You feel them?
Yes. What's that done?
Yes. So he is the guide of you. And you have had to be strong yourself. You see, you've had to be. You've had a little bit of a tough life. And she would answer back and say, well, that's to say the least, Jonathan. We do have Agnes here. Does anybody know Agnes, please? She would have passed the spirit world in her late 70s. Agnes. And she's calling herself Aunt Aggie. Aunt Agnes. She is very much here in the back of the room. Flowing in and out. So do speak up or forever hold your peace if you can. Claim Aunt Agnes, because she's very much there. Yes. Anybody?
No.
Before she takes her leave? You see? And we do have, your father is still here, my dear, with you. And very strong presence, you know. He said, I'm not leaving her. I'm not leaving her. I wanted her to come here. I made her come here. So, you know, don't blame your old dad, you know. Darling, I am happy. I'm so happy tonight. You cannot believe how ecstatically happy I was to get through to you today. But hold me in your heart. Remember me for this day.
I will do.
I will do the best that I can for you. You've been telephoning everybody and telling them.
Yes.
Did you telephone Nikki?
No.
Did you tell Nikki? Do you know Nikki?
No.
Because there is Nicholas, you see, Nicholas. And I think that he is going to come and find out about something from you, and he will be brought to us somehow.
Okay.
Yes. So questions. We forgot about the questions, and this is what we like to start things off with because it gets the energy raising, you see.
Anyone? Hi. I sit in a circle and we often ask a question and we wonder what's going on. When we pass to the spirit world, do we meet up as a soul group? So do you meet up with your mum and dad all together? Would you meet up with your partner's family, or is your soul group just who you were born into?
Yes, you do. You will have quite a large soul group, some of you. And they're not groups like you have together with all of your friends and talk about what you've done the day before. They are soul groups that come together that have a purpose of some sort, you see? So they're not segregated from one another, they all intermingle because we are all as one. But you will meet your loved ones and loved ones from past lives. You will meet most of them, in fact all of them, if you wish to do so, yes.
All right, thank you.
Next.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. I just wanted to ask you about my work, please.
And I see you with readings and cards, would you understand?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And you are thinking of designing your own cards?
I've done that, yeah, just.
Oh, she is very pleased. So they are very proud that you have done that. That they say that you are wanting to move on and you're wanting to dedicate your life to this sort of thing. Would you understand?
That's right, yeah.
So over time, you will find that that little red spirit carpet will be laid out for you and everything will start to come around, you see. So you are going to get busy and you're going to sit and do development classes later on. That is what you're going to be doing. And I see somebody around you that is being cared for at this present time.
What, relative?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And, you know, being nursed, would you understand? Cared for.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to take a little bit of time and acceptance with that. You see, because it seems to be, they are telling me something progressive, would you understand?
Not really, not at the moment, no.
Yes. So they are to take care of themselves after this. But I will say to you that in this room, Sir Colin Fry has been looking at some of you.
Oh, good evening.
And he is saying it's an honour to be here tonight. I am bowing to everybody. And I will say to you, yes, there are such things as orbs. Because I didn't believe it. You see, but why didn't I? I was such a fool to think that everything was dust. But you know, we are dust when it comes to the physical, and we are alive when it comes to the spiritual. When you have finished the physical, you become dust, bodily wise, or buried, and then you become alive and well. Goodness me, I never realized I could fly around so fast. At least I cannot be stopped for speeding now. He's got quite a sense of humour, really, you know. But he's blessing all of you, and he's saying, you know, if you've got something, then flaunt it with spirit, you know. Get out there and show the people what you're made of. It's not about who's higher than another. We all need to help one another and to spread this word about. And it will be done. So any other questions? I hope that I have helped you. Yes, my dear, have I?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
Wonderful.
Hello, Jonathan. When my mother was dying, she knew that she was dying, and she was terrified. So, what would it have been like for her to pass over, being that she was so scared?
Well, once she was going into the white light, my dear, she wouldn't have been afraid anymore, because her loved ones would have been at the end of that light waiting for her, putting their arms out to her, ready to welcome her. When she left her body, she felt a warmth and a comfort, a love that was unconditional. She said that she was no longer afraid after that. And she says it's because I didn't know, I had an uncertainty. I thought that I would go to hell if I'd done wrong. And that's what I was led to believe in life. And I didn't always think that there was a heaven. I thought it was just some sort of fantasy place, you know, that everybody conjured up in their minds and tried to make you feel better with. But when I actually got there, darling, I was so comfortable, so loved, and the light just pulls you in. It's so warm and inviting. I have never experienced anything like it. And you know, I wouldn't want to come back to your earth at present, you know, the state it's in. I'm glad that I'm out of it. So darling, there is nothing to be afraid of. Absolutely nothing. You're only fearing how you're going to pass. Once you actually pass, well, it's beautiful.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You are welcome.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Questions?
You hear some stories when people die, they go into a blackness, and they're scared, and then they are fetched into the light. What place is this blackness?
I think that this blackness is part of the fear, you see, part of the fear of not knowing where they are, especially if they have passed in traumatic circumstances. For instance, someone that may have taken their life may go into this blackness, and then eventually they will be pulled into the light because they will be loved and understood. You are forgiven, so you will not stay in the blackness for long. It is not for eternity. It is just that they may have taken the trauma cross with them, and they have to learn to understand that they've got to transcend into spirit.
Thank you.
No one else?
Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening.
Good evening. On the Earth plane, are there any other sentient life forms aside to human and the animal kingdom?
Sorry, would you say that again, please, sir?
On the Earth plane, are there any other sentient life forms other than humans and the animal kingdom?
I would say that they do visit your Earth, yes, but they're not here in disguise. That's not what they wish to do. They are very curious about how you live and how your emotions work, and how your aviation is going. And they say that in the human world, compared to our world, that you are very behind in your aviation and your way of projecting your thoughts, you see. That they are trying to get the message across to you that you could go further with it. And they are very curious about how the human mind works. As much as you are curious about them, the feeling is vice versa, isn't it? They want to know about you.
Thank you.
So they are not in human bodies now. They do not wish to invade the human like that.
Thank you.
Hi Jonathan, my friend has asked me a question to ask you today, and she said that when her father passed, her and her twin sister kept smelling a horrible smell, sort of like an eggy, fishy smell, and she wanted to know why and what that was.
I think that they were worrying that he didn't pass very well, you understand. And what he wanted them to know is that he'd gone to a better place and that his hell was going to end, you see. I see that he also went across with a lot on his mind, would you understand? He had a lot of some sort of resentment and insecurity within him. He was afraid. And so he wanted to show them that what he wanted to show them was that he was in a dark place and that he was going to make the ascension into the light. Would you understand? It's a little bit hard to explain to you so that you would understand, because sometimes you have to go through the dark before you get to the light.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass that on, thank you.
And he is saying, you know, they do need to protect the house.
Okay.
They do need to. There's nothing evil in there, but sometimes you will get a build-up of a stale energy, a negative energy, which builds up, you see? And if you cleanse that out, it's going to be fine again.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening.
I just had a question about my eldest daughter, if you can help. She's nearly 25 and she's just been diagnosed with ME at the peak of her career, and she's very, very poorly. And I wondered if you had anything to comment on.
Yes, that is becoming a little bit more prevalent in your world, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And it is such a thing that is diagnosed that is very hard to diagnose. And we will go to her and give her healing.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say that there is going to be a miracle, but sometimes if you can delay these things a little, it helps things. You see, you could be going along normally in your life and then all of a sudden these things strike, you see. But would you understand of another huge trauma in her life?
She did have meningitis when she was a baby.
Yes. So I would say that that was a frightening time for you because she nearly passed.
Yes, that's right.
And so that left her immune system quite weak.
Yes, it did.
And from there on in, she was picking up the least little thing.
Correct.
And she was going down with colds and sickness and things, and she was very sickly.
She was. Well, she's only got one kidney now. So
Yes. So, you
her
know,
immunity
that
is low.
doesn't always help, you see.
No.
So I think that they are going to give her some sort of a shot of something, would you understand? Some sort of injection of something to boost her immune system.
Yes, we've talked about this.
Yes. And they're going to have to give her regular injections of that to help her immune system to be boosted, so that she needs to be kept away from places that are having that sort of thing. Hospitals and doctors and things are not really good for her to be around. So I think that when you look at her, you would see that some days she is in bed all day, isn't she?
Yes, that's right.
And to begin with, she started taking time away from her workplace, and in the end, it got to the point where she couldn't do it anymore.
That's right.
And it causes a weakness to the immune system, and it also is something to do with the muscle and bone, would you understand?
Yes, that's right.
And what it is some sort of a muscle wasting thing, you see. And I want to say to you that it's not really a lot that you can do about it other than try to delay it in some way or another. So I think that it is you being around for her and doing what you can for her, do you understand?
Yes.
But I see that you will take her to a healer.
I am a healer, Jonathan.
Yes, and you heal her every day, don't you?
I do.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe in
Absolutely.
yourself?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Because I would suggest keep that going. And you never know, do you?
No,
You believe in miracles?
I do.
Keep believing in them, because you'll never know.
Thank you.
You might find that they do happen.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening.
Recently, a family member passed a spirit. In fact, it's haven't even had his funeral yet. The reason being is they want to find out why he died, and as far as I know, they still don't know. I wonder if you could help me.
Yes, they are holding the funeral off, I understand.
Yes, it's Friday now.
Yes. He is saying, you know, that's just a body there now.
Mm.
I want you to know that. They can do what they like with it. But what I'm going to say is here, this is something to do with some sort of blockage here. You see, it's like a breathlessness. Now, do you understand he passed in his sleep?
No, he passed. He went to meet somebody at work, and he just went pale and collapsed. That was it.
You see, there are such things as he had shortness of breath beforehand. Do you understand? Sometimes he would get shortness of breath and dizziness, and sometimes he would wake in the night feeling this. He would wake in the night feeling a little bit breathless, and he didn't tell you that. But this is seemingly something to do with this area here and here, you see. So there's a shortness of oxygen going into the lungs and into the blood, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say is some sort of blood clot had got into that heart of his. So there is an embolism somewhere.
Okay.
And you will be informed about it. Yes. And I actually want to go to you, and I want to go to your shoulder.
My shoulder, yeah.
Yes. You have had a little bit of trouble with that.
Oh, trouble with everything.
Yes. But he wants you to know that he is at peace, and he says, my funeral, I'm sure it'll go off well. You know, and I want to thank you for thinking of me, but I am fine now. I'm with God.
Good.
I am home. And they will soon let you know what was wrong.
Okay, thank you.
In a sense, no matter how I pass, just know that I am at peace.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan, will you be giving anybody a healing tonight?
I would love to. Yes.
Anybody that needs it?
Oh, yes. If they wish to come forward. It is up to oneself. My hands are ready.
No.
Stay front. No, face front.
Don't be afraid. You have anxiety?
No.
I thought so. You get tummy pain with it?
No, shoulder and neck.
It feels like your shoulders turn into bricks.
Yeah.
You know, anxiety is just fear. That's all it is. And when you are experiencing fear, your body feeds you with adrenaline, you see? And the adrenaline causes more of the fear because it is preparing itself for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are preparing for a fight, or you are in fear and you are preparing to protect yourself, the adrenaline causes the muscles to tighten because you want to prepare yourself for that protection of yourself. So when you find yourself feeling like that, just question yourself and say to yourself, am I in any danger?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing right now? Is it causing me any danger? And really question yourself, and you will find that it will die down and it will stop. You are literally relaxing yourself. You are talking yourself down out of it.
I've been suffering with it for about 3 years, and I've been to see so many people, and I don't know what to do next. As I'm standing here, the pain's going.
It's going in your shoulders.
Mm.
Do you feel it dissipating?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. needs to go away, doesn't it?
Yes.
And how do you feel?
Amazing.
Good.
I've got no pain at all.
Wonderful, because you would normally fear getting up in front of these people, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You'd be terrified.
Yes.
It's nothing to fear, they're all the same as you. They just go about life differently, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the same. I'm sure they've all got their own worries in life. Not that we would want them to have that, would we?
No. Oh, my shoulders have never felt this relaxed in my life.
You bottle you up, Jonathan.
I like buttering up.
Oh, I feel amazing.
Good. That's the way I want to make you feel, you see.
Thank you.
Because you are a good person.
Thank you.
You really are.
Mm.
And you're always helping others, aren't you?
Yes.
And you're telling them how to feel relaxed when you're tense as anything. Now, how would you feel if you felt like this every day?
Oh, I'd love to feel like this. Been
Yes.
suffering for so long. To feel like this is amazing.
You will not suffer anymore.
Oh, thank you.
Just start to believe in yourself. And don't forget, if you feel that coming on, question yourself.
I will do.
Who knows, it may not come back.
Mm.
There you go.
Thank you.
Who else wants some then? How do you feel now?
Got crutches because I've had knee surgery, so.
Oh, bless you, my darling.
Want a chair?
Would you like a chair? So that I can get you a knee.
Mum, can you got a chair for him? Because of her knee. Get out your chair, you. See how
Just for a moment, you can have it back in a minute.
Are you sure?
Sit down. That's it. Now, can you bring your knees to me? Bring your knees, yes.
It's got wheels.
You'll break them.
And over here we've got black eye. Black eye.
I hope I am not hurting you. It's this one, is it? Are you waiting for something to be done with that?
No, I'm not that one today.
Yes. Well, that is compensating for that, you know.
Mm.
They're burning, aren't they? Would you like me to turn the heat up a little bit?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
You feel hot now, don't you?
Yeah.
It is done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I quite like it. It's stuck. Sorry about this.
First time I have touched a woman's knee in years.
Just behave yourself, you Oh, lady.
Wouldn't you agree?
I remember you before talking about getting under skirts, you dirty sod.
One's innocent, you know. In the human life, that is. What do we have here?
Do you want a chair? Don't get up this time.
Would you get up after this? Are you on your knees?
No, I'm crouching.
Don't worry anymore, will you? I'll try not to. Just
Who's number 4?
my darling.
Me.
You. Yes, you.
Oh, girl,
Want a
go.
chair?
No.
God almighty, she's got troubles with her ears.
Are you meaning that?
No.
It's another one that fears here.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Of Sandra.
Just be out in the corner.
You come here. Yes. Close your eyes. How do you feel? That's your body. You're reacting to the healing idea. It's done.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah. Oh, it must be the front row, mustn't it? Oh, I'm going to put them all on wheels next time. Just.
You could try a conveyor belt. Your hands are so cool. Do you do healing?
Yeah.
Your energy is cool with the healing, isn't it? You know, there is a gentleman here with you who loves you very much.
The same one.
Yes. Feel a bit wobbly.
Yeah. Just.
That's all right, my dear. When you stop wobbling, it is done.
If you fall over, you've done earlier.
You're fine.
Get up.
Hello. You came to me before, didn't you?
Yes.
You are reacting to the healing already. Are we going to this one?
Just a man's thing there, John.
Yeah. How is it with you? That's great.
Oh, I'm actually here for healing.
That's what they all say.
Behave yourself. How does that feel? Is it loosening up a bit? Please, God bless you.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. You are studying something. Yes. Can you keep them all under control, do you think?
No. I work with special needs.
They're very loving.
They are.
They give you hugs.
Mm.
So they're all teachers' pets then.
That's one word.
They're beautiful. They just like to give a lot of love.
Yes, they do.
Kevin.
You have a Kevin there with you?
I do.
Yes. There is a family gentleman here as well.
That's lovely.
You understand?
They're your dad.
He says he loves you very much. He says he's round the back of you there. He has his hand on your back because you've had some back trouble.
I have. Thank you.
You have trouble reaching up.
Very short.
Do you get the sun to go up there? Somebody tall's getting up to the cupboard.
Yeah, it's not me. My daughter's a bit tall.
And the ferrets. I see ferrets here. Ferrets.
And my dad may have as a child, they got rid of animals.
They're all running around the place. There you go, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more for any more.
Oh, over there, Mum, come. You have to move about.
I'm enjoying this. Have you two hands? Don't be. There is also a gentleman here with you. I spoke to you earlier, didn't I? I have been to you before. Yes. Do you feel yourself going backwards?
Yes.
You know you need to speak to somebody in your family. And tell them what it's all about. They're not listening, are they? Go on. I was about to say one more. Hello, sir. You are the gentleman that wanted to go back to her? Go back to her. Do you think she would take you back?
Not sure.
You must try. How do you feel? Do you feel yourself going backwards? Further and further. Further and further. Further and further. Is he leaning back? Well, not going to fall in. Just go with it. Instead of going backwards, come forwards. Come into the now. She will come back into your life within a year.
Jonathan, do you want to do more healing or do you want to
Well,
move
we
on?
will start doing some more questions now, I think, yes.
Okay, Mama.
Because we don't want to take up the whole of the evening and what they have come here for, you see. Although healing is good.
Right.
Yes. So we have somebody here, a gentleman who passed with pancreatic cancer. And I do believe he was in his early 70s. You see? And he's coming forward and he's saying that he lost a lot of weight, as you do with that sort of thing. And he's saying that his clothes were falling off of him, his jackets that he once filled were falling off of him, really baggy on him, you see. And we also have this man named David around him. The David that he is trying to connect to is on the earth, and he is sort of a father to him, would you understand? Does anybody understand that this gentleman is here, and he is also named John? So he had pancreatic cancer. And also there was something wrong with this upper part of the body, you see. So if anybody can connect with this gentleman, he is sort of walking around trying to find where they are, you see. And sometimes you will not always be able to connect straight away, but afterwards it sometimes sort of pieces itself together, you see. This gentleman here is John, and he passed with this cancer, so it's going to this area, you see. And it's not only going into the pancreas, it's going into the liver and the kidneys as well. So if anybody knows about this man, he will step back if nobody can connect at the present time, but you will know
Just
that.
checking with the two ladies outside,
Ah, yes.
just in case.
I found the owner.
Ah, I knew they were there somewhere. Did they try to escape?
Ah, no, calling nature.
Yes, this man David with the pancreatic cancer, David on the earth is trying to connect to.
Yes.
And who would the David be to him, please? Because, yes,
Sorry?
the David is on the earth, but there is a David, and then there's the gentleman here that had pancreatic cancer. And this is also going into the liver and kidneys. It's spread all around that sort of area. This man passed away with it. John
John is my uncle. I'm
Yes.
not sure it's pancreatic cancer.
Would you understand this whole
It's,
area?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
of the body with this cancerous condition, and something to do with the kidneys going wrong here,
Yes.
you see, and some sort of catheter here.
Yes. Yes.
He would have had to have a catheter here, and I see a necklace on him.
Probably. My aunt is indisposed at the moment. She can give you more information about it.
Yes.
We won't be long,
okay.
but we're not going personal.
Now see, this.
Yeah.
And I also have a pet dog here. It's like it looks like a bulldog or something like
Oh,
that.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Would you understand that?
Yes.
And a little bit like Churchill waddling around and snuffling and sniffling. Dog.
One of three. It could be one of three.
Yes.
All the same.
And who recognises Uncle Bert in here? Albert.
Albert. Grandfather.
Yes. So he is here too, and he has brought the dog with him, you see?
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, and he said, well, the damn thing was getting old and slow, so...
Normally,
At
Mother.
the moment...
Just shouting away.
She's so quiet.
Gloria!
I'm not telling you what she's doing.
You're shouting and disrupting Jonathan.
Sorry.
Who is Gloria? We have Gloria here for somebody, please. Gloria? She would have been an elderly lady passing in around her 80s. They're going to bring John back, you see. But we have Gloria. Does anybody know who Gloria is, please? She's still there, yes. We can still have him here, my dear. He's standing here with that dog. And I do see the dog's back legs would have gone toward the end. She had a little bit of spinal thing going.
Is that? Are we still with Albert?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I know the dog is now. That's Candy.
Yes. Lovely dog, isn't she?
Yeah.
But it seems to be white with a little bit of colour in it, would you understand? Two-tone.
Opposite way round.
Yes. So it's two-tone dog,
Yeah.
and it's got a few little stripes in the darker bits.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. She is there. She's sitting there, and she's panting away, which is as happy as anything she is. She's to see you. She's so overjoyed. And he says, well, she always was late. She could never get on time for anything. And we do have. Yes, thank you. Now, who would understand the surname of Johnson, please? Johnson. Mary Johnson. We have.
Mary Thompson.
Oh,
Mary
yes.
Johnson.
We have her here. She is a lady, sort of an older lady, would you understand?
Yes.
And she has this sort of a, I would say, mid-grey hair.
Yes.
And it's quite light, but it's not white grey. It's sort of a darkish silver grey, you see? And I want to say that she is here with you, and she's mentioning Sylvia.
I'll have to ask Mum that one.
Yes, and your mother knows this lady very
Yeah.
well. And
Yes.
I want to say that she also had these arthritic hands, please.
Yeah.
And one finger was really bad, painful for her, quite lumpy. And I also want to say that she went across with this, and I want to say something to do with a stroke.
Oh, no. Mary Thompson. How did she pass? Was it a stroke or? You know more about Mary, don't you?
She died.
Oh, bless her.
Yes, she had breathing. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, she did have a stroke.
Yes, breathing problems and a stroke. Which
That's
I-
it.
yes, she's very much here. But she sends her love and gratitude to you. Did you disappear out of the room? Did you?
Yes, just
Yeah,
for a little
she
while.
ran off.
Yeah.
Yes. And
We don't
are you
fade.
the one that's knowing John? Are you? Because we have the connection with John here.
No, that's the other two ladies.
Oh yes. Well, where are the other two ladies?
They're still busy.
They ran off again.
Yes. They shouldn't really leave unless they have to.
Oh,
Because
she
I
had to.
want them in here.
She had to.
Yes. Did she get a little upset or?
No,
Little
she,
cross-legged?
well, not in that
We
way.
need to
Cross-legged? Yes. Now we do have now we still have that large Indian sitting with her. He's very much with you, and he's guarding the back there. He's looking after the people at the back there. Now there is a gentleman with that lady at the back, and he was quite a big gentleman, would you understand? He's a fatherly gentleman, and he had a good pair of shoulders on him. Would you understand?
Very much so.
Yes, he was a big man, and but he had the heart of a soft, melting heart.
No.
He was lovely,
Yes.
and he was the gentle giant,
He was.
you see, and you loved him very much. Now, would you understand this to be the fatherly person with you?
Yes.
And he is saying, darling, I'm here, and I always used to make an entrance. But inside I was quite shy, really. I didn't show it though, but I love you very much. And who has the three girls?
Me.
He wants to say hello to the three girls, his beautiful granddaughters. They're all here tonight, are they?
One is.
Just one, yes. Yes. And he wants to say the name of James.
Sorry.
We have two James. You have two James, do you? Younger James and older James?
She has two son-in-laws.
Oh, yes. Oh, James, that's a very popular name. That happens to be my middle name, yes. It's a lovely name. Now, I also want to say, yes, thank you. We have Ben.
Well,
Yes.
that's his granddaughter.
She's lovely, isn't she? She's, now, there is also a huge, we have a lot of German Shepherds in Spirit, but there is a huge German Shepherd at the back there.
He did have a German Shepherd dog.
Yes, it's a great big German Shepherd, as strong as an ox he was. It's a boy. You see, do you understand this being a male? And it is with him, and he says, well, I can take it off its lead, but it's parading all around, sniffing everybody. It is a lovely dog, really is, it's livening up in here. But you are for Trance. You are it. Yes. Goodness me, is he going to tell some people some things, He's just such a strong guy that he liked to fold his arms when he spoke, you see.
Love talking.
Yes, but he would sit, now this gentleman would sit with his arms folded, and he would cross his legs and put them underneath the chair, if he had a chair like you are sitting on now, you see? Yes. Now he's mentioned Ali. Would you understand Ali? Like an Alison? So he's mentioned Ali. I don't know what's going to happen here, but there's some sort of Alison here coming in. He's just told me to mention that. It's nothing to worry about. And there's also something to do with a solicitor here with somebody that is going on at the present moment.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes, to do with some household things. To do with the house.
Yes.
Yes, Jonathan.
And there is a terrible disagreement going on.
Yes.
There's a greediness,
Yes.
and there is a male involved in that greediness, and there is a female influencing that male with the greediness, and you know, slapping of hands here, because this is really stressful for you.
Yes.
And this is to do with a gentleman's house, a gentleman and a lady.
Yes.
Would you
that's
understand
right.
that they're a couple, mother and father? Would you understand? Yes.
Well, we've been renting it from them for the last 6 years, and we're trying to buy it, but
Yes.
they are very greedy. Yes.
There seems to be this greediness is with a member of the family. Would you understand?
Yes.
And it is with the male, and this is a brother. Would you say?
I think it's their son.
Yes, because he's trying to claim all of it.
For his inheritance, yes.
Yes, he's saying you've got no right to it. Why should you have it? Why should it's all mine? Well, he's not going to get his way.
Good.
He's not going to get his way, but it's going to be a bit of a fight for you, my dear. I think it could go on for at least 18 months.
Oh no, we haven't got
Yes.
18 months left.
But you
They've
know,
given us notice. We
it
haven't
could
got
come in
18 months.
before that. It could come in before that, because you know what spirits' timing are like. We do not go by time. But within that time, it's all going to, you're going to have to hold on to your hats, you see. It's all going to come right in the end, though, I would say.
It's already been 18 months. We've got 1 week left.
Oh, yes. So maybe I'm picking up on that.
Yes, we've got 1 week left.
Well, you are very worried about it.
Yes.
And you're worried that you're going to be out of a home.
Yes.
Now, you have been driving around looking for somewhere.
Well,
But you want to stay where you are,
Yes, we
you're
do.
adamant about it. You have rights.
Mhm.
You will win, dear.
Thank you.
Now, I believe that is the lady that was in the house before. Would you understand this? Something to do
Well,
with
no,
the...
there was a very old gentleman in the house before.
Yes. So he passed away, I do believe.
Yes.
Oh, he's gunning for you, my dear. He's very much helping you.
Yes,
Yes.
I feel that. I feel that he wants us to be there.
He does. He
Mm.
does. He said, well, you know, he will have to learn. And I live there, and I want you to be there, and that's that.
Mm.
We will do what we can.
Thank you.
Now, we do have, thank you, yes. We do have Les here, Les. And he is father to somebody. Les, you see? And he says, I love you, son. I love you. You know, have faith in yourself. Go and get that girl back. You are in love with her still, aren't you? But did you not agree on something? You know I'm with you, and you know that art is going to come about when you sort your life out. And you know your old dad would give you a kick up the behind, you say, and saying, well, go for it, come on.
Yeah.
Don't just hold back on life, go and get her. You'll get her in the end. You have to sometimes go away from something in order to appreciate it. Then you come back to it, you realize what you've got. Do you see? Maybe you have to go away from that, and then when you go back to it, you'll realize it. And then you'll hold on to it. You'll understand it a little bit more about why, and what it was about in the first place. And then the art. You see? Before the end of the year, you will decide what to do. Now, we do have a gentleman here, Stephen. His name is Stephen, and he took his life to the other side very quickly. He didn't tell anybody what he was going to do, but he just did it. And somebody found him in a flat. And he was not, it wasn't very nice for the person that found him, put it that way. You see? It's not very old, this man. Now, who knows about this? Because he has another one that's hung himself unpleasantly. He is connected to a Michael. And he's very much in this room at the present time. Does anybody know about him?
No.
Do come to Elaine afterwards if you find out, because he's very much here, and he says, I'm going to be unselfish and I'm going to wait over there. So, yes. Now we have another Stephen here. Two, goodness me. We have a Steve this time, and he had a motorbike accident. And he is back again. You know, he's got a black crash helmet under his arm. He has the leather jacket with the tassels and the jeans here and the boots. And he said, it wasn't my fault. It just happened so fast. You see? Do you understand? Does anybody know about this man? Because they come in and they go out, and if they're not listened to, they will step back. Yes. It's quite crowded in here. So we will go back to the questions for a minute, and we will have a little bit more uniformity with the entrance of the souls.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Hello, my dear.
If I may, could I please ask you? A friend of mine's about to pass to spirit, and if you could give some words of comfort, explanation to her family of possibly how her journey will progress, what is in store for her, they would be so grateful and strengthened. Thank you.
And does she have an illness?
Age related.
Yes. I do see that she is getting on now, you understand.
That's right.
And you come to a certain point in your life where you cannot go on anymore. She is ready to accept.
I'm sure she is.
And what she would want to say to her family is that she is going to be fine and that she's going to be at peace at last if she was going to go there. I'm not going to tell you when. That is not what I do.
No,
But
it
what
wasn't.
comfort I would give to them is the reassurance that the afterlife is real, and that she will be able to make contact with them through that. And that anyone that goes to the other side is going to be at peace. There is no more suffering on the other side. Know that when somebody passes, you will be able to connect with them anytime that you so wish, although they do not have a physical being anymore. That is just the casing that they have cast off, and that they become spirit, and they are free, they are happy. And I'm sure that she would want to show them proof of the afterlife, wouldn't she?
I'd love it if she could.
I'm sure that she will, and she will be very good at it too. It is natural that they are going to grieve because they love her, and that is a natural process. But we will send them peace of mind,
Thank you so much.
and the comfort that they need is you being there for them.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Hello, my
Is it possible to go back to the chap with the...
Yeah, do you mean John?
Yes.
Yes. And
Is it
it's,
possible?
yes, so the lady that has now returned, yes, my dear, the John that is here has a bulldog type dog with him, you understand? A large dog that's looking a little bit like the Churchill sort of face. Is she listening?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this gentleman passed, and he had this part of his body, the lower half of his body, was in a terrible state. You see? So he is there right next to you. And he is saying, you know, I'm trying to get through to her. Is she actually listening?
I'm listening.
I want to tell her that I love her. And that I've got the dog with me. Now, did you know the dog?
Yes.
Yes. And it's a beautiful girl dog, and she is two-tone in colour with the darkness part with little stripes going through it. So a little bit of a brindle. You see? It's a beautiful dog. It's coming up to you. It's right next to you. Oh, goodness me, its tail. It's only got a little stump for a tail. But it's going, the little thing is going 10 to the dozen. So happy to see you. So happy to see you. So, yes, he is giving you his love, and he's saying, look, we're all right on the other side. But you've got to carry on in this life. We know how hard it is.
Thank you.
I haven't got the catheter on anymore.
Oh no.
That's gone. You know? And if you save your pennies up, you could go somewhere nice, you know. But when you come to heaven, you don't have to save. It's a free, permanent holiday here. It's wonderful. It's nothing like butlers, you know. It's quite a comical matter. It's quite a laugh, isn't it, really? Yes. Who knows Lauren here? Lauren. Lauren on the earth.
Okay.
Yes. I see her as being a young girl.
Yes.
Yes. Would you understand she's sort of school age?
No.
Because I see there's what I see with her is she's going to study something.
Oh, yes, she's studying. Yes.
Yes.
She is.
And that she's going to succeed at it. She's a very determined girl.
Excellent, thank you.
And what is all this beauty with her?
Well, they keep having these stupid nails stuck on.
They're so long.
Yeah.
You'd almost take your eyes out with these things. I do believe if I'd have got a slap from one of the ladies with those things on, I'd have been blinded. Goodness me. How do they manage with those? But, she loves all of that, doesn't she? Yes. The glitz and the glamour.
That's right.
I think she will do well with her study.
Thank you.
And I understand you have great belief in her.
I do.
Is she a niece of yours?
She's my daughter.
Oh, she's your daughter,
Yeah.
yes. And, thank you, yes. Ah, yes, we do see that she has somebody interested in her. But she's not interested.
Oh, I don't know. She's with somebody, but it
Yes.
could be somebody's interested, I don't know.
There always is.
Yeah, she does have admirers.
She does. And there's a Katie around her.
Yes, my niece-in-law.
Yes. So she's a lovely girl, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
She's a little more quieter,
Yes.
a little more shy and reserved here. And we give her healing too.
Thank you.
Yes. That's wonderful. Yes. Frederick and Lil.
There we
Yes,
are.
thank
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Got my teeth back. Lil. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Oh, she's over there. Oh, God bless you. Oh, love you. I do miss you.
We miss you all.
Keep your chin up. We're all here for you.
Thank you.
Now we are at peace together now, dancing away.
Good to hear.
Got to have done with this. I'll come back and speak another time.
Thank you, darling.
She's very determined.
Jonathan, good evening. I'd like to ask you a question concerning my son.
Oh, yes.
My son is a little bit of a worry to me and his well-being. I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
And how old is this little fellow?
He's not a little fellow anymore. He's 29 but still at home with us.
Yes, he
That's
behaves
not
like a
me.
little fellow though, doesn't he? Why do you worry about him so much?
He just doesn't seem very happy.
Does he shut himself away in his room?
Yes, he does.
And does he go on these computers?
Yes.
Yes. Does he play games?
Yes.
You know, they don't help, you know.
No, I know that.
There are a lot of them games are violent. And they build aggression in people
Yes, I've noticed that.
because he becomes very moody.
Yes.
And would you understand that he is very shy?
Yeah, he's very introvert.
And does he feel as if he wants to talk to somebody about that? You have asked him and he says, oh, just leave me alone.
Yes, that's right. He doesn't open up.
I think that he is feeling a little left out. It's as if you're doing things, you see, and you're getting to places, and sometimes he has resentment in him.
He has a lot of angst.
Yes. So I think that he is needing somebody to talk to him, but he doesn't want to, does he?
No. It's difficult.
It is self-acceptance, my dear. He's not loving himself. He feels inferior to others. And he feels safe in his home.
Yes, he does.
He knows that no harm can come to him there. And when he goes to adventure out, it is anxiety again.
Yes.
So he wants his dinner in his room. And
Yes, he does.
he wants everything in his room. He doesn't want to leave the safety of that haven of his.
No, he doesn't.
But sometimes you have to face your fears in order to overcome them. You know, sometimes that is the best way to overcome your fears, is to face them and go right into the middle of the center of them. And face it. And it looks like a demonstrative thing. And sometimes he does have nightmares.
Oh, he has lots of nightmares.
Yes, well he is
very sensitive.
he is trying to face his demons, you see. And that is frightening for him. And when your subconscious wakes up and it presents to you your demonstrative fears that you are not facing in your life, it can be like a horrible thing to face. Frightening, terrifying. So we will go to him and we will give him healing. They're not going to guarantee that it's going to cause magic overnight, but you may find that he will come to accept things at a point in his life when he will say, well, I think I've had enough of staying here now. I simply feel like I am in a prison. But maybe I am in my own prison in here. And maybe I need to get out of that. Maybe I need to have self-acceptance of that I need help. But those games are not doing him any good. They actually make the situation greater than what it is. Because they are mind influential. It is okay to play them things for a short time, but every day it builds that thought of aggression into the mind. It's not that he's not going to go out and kill anyone, but he's not doing himself any favours.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan. I'm going to speak on behalf of Kerry. She wanted to know if her granddad Ray was okay.
You wanted to know if he'd made it to the other side?
Yes.
He is absolutely fine, my dear. And he said, I dropped the cigarettes now. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Because he smoked quite a lot. He's got a lot of cigarettes around him. In fact, there's piles of them here. Would you know about that?
Yeah.
And he says, you know, my lungs were bad.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you looked at them on an X-ray, they were almost blackened out.
Yeah.
He's talking about COPD here,
Yeah.
which is in turn emphysema in the last stages of that.
Yeah.
And would you understand that that overtook him?
Yeah.
So he is saying that he is well now, he is happy.
Thank you.
Now, how is your tummy now, Sir Frank?
Frank, how's your stomach? He's asking.
Getting better, yeah.
I have been working on it.
Anything
Yes.
for quiet life.
Yes.
Jonathan, could you please tell me if there's any news of Rita and if I meet with her approval?
You definitely meet with her approval. What would you think if she thought that you didn't? You see, she's not going to say that to you. She said you definitely meet with my approval. And she is absolutely well. She is saying, you know, I'm dancing around this place in heaven. You know, you have never seen so much love in your life as what you get when you come here. Now, would you understand she's connecting to her daughter?
Yes.
And she's also saying happy anniversary. Would you understand that?
Yes, there's a very recent birthday anniversary.
Yes. And would you understand there was a nought on one of those? Somebody's coming up for a nought on their birthday?
Not imminently.
Yes. But I would say that she is saying happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yes, we can take that, thank you.
Yes. So she is saying that over and over. She's saying, I want to drum it into them.
Thank you.
And she says, don't worry about blowing the candles out, just, you know, just like the grass. There's that many candles on it.
Thank you.
She's a lovely lady, isn't she?
She's wonderful.
She makes people laugh. Now we do have Helen here. Helen, Aunt Helen. Does anybody know Auntie Helen, please?
No.
Speak now or forever hold your peace, as we say. Aunt Helen. You see, she's not an immediate aunt, she is a great aunt. So she would be Auntie Helen to the mother. And the mother is still on the earth.
No.
You see, so there's not much more information on that. It seems to be a little bit vague here, but then we'll move on to the next thing. If there are any other questions.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Hello, my dear.
You gave me a reading during the week. Thank you very much. But you gave me a name of Harriet.
Oh, yes.
Could you just clarify who that was?
Would you understand? Could you connect with her?
No, you said it was a guide?
Yes. So I'm seeing that through meditative state you would be connecting with her. And she says that she is ready for you when you are ready for her.
Is that for the trance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay, thank you.
She's a lovely lady and she makes people laugh.
Thank you.
She said laughter is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, to sit there feeling miserable.
Exactly.
I will make them all chuckle, don't you worry. You've just got to sit back and relax and I'll do the rest.
Rightio, thank you.
They're going to have a fun time.
Good.
Yes. Something is going on over here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her to tell me she's got a question, Jess.
Well, I can't talk, Jonathan.
Oh,
No.
what is the
Hello,
matter, my dear?
yes,
Have you got
I
a bad
can.
throat?
No, I can't talk.
You don't want to ask?
No, I'm going to ask you a question. I had a telephone call last week from my daughter from Lancaster,
Oh, yes.
and in this telephone call, she's going to come down to my house for a whole week at Easter, and I feel with her with his boyfriend, she's had quite a load, you know, and I've just got a funny feeling about him. Am I right?
And it is a good feeling or not so good?
I don't know him.
You will find out. Because you're going to have to accept, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because it's what she wants.
Yeah, okay. She's not very well at all, and I think she's given up her people who look after her as well.
Yes, she is finding that very hard. But I think that she will want to see more of you.
Okay.
Carol,
Yes.
we love you.
Do you?
There's no one in this building behind us.
There is
If
no.
I run,
I
follow
ain't
me.
going.
Jonathan, hello. My father passed a couple of years ago and I miss him very much. I wanted to know if you had a message for Jean.
The message is that he loves her very much. And glasses off. Do you understand?
Yes,
No glasses needed.
yes.
And I understand he had something wrong with one of the eyes.
I'm not sure.
Not being able to see the vision or something going. You see?
Yeah.
The vision. But there is also something to do with this area, would you understand? Again,
Yes.
the heart.
Yes.
And a slowing down of that, and something to do within the brain.
Yes.
So would you understand that forgetful thoughts, you see?
Yes.
Forgetfulness, dementia?
Yes.
He says that is all gone now. It's all gone. And you understand I'm happy and dancing and that I want to send my love to her, and that if she wants to get my photo out and hold it to her chest, that's fine.
Okay.
Because I know that she has been doing that.
Yes.
Yes. So give her his love and to talk to him, because he is there with her.
Okay. Thank you.
Jonathan, my stepfather passed away last summer, the end of last summer, and I was just wondering if he had any messages to give to my mum.
He is saying, you know, I loved you like a true daughter. And I always will.
Oh.
And he says, you know, it's going to take her time. He knows that.
Yeah.
And he says that tell her you have been here tonight to connect with me. And he's saying the shirt and tie,
Yes.
that he was sent home in a shirt and tie and smart suit here.
Yes.
And there was no shoes on his feet,
Oh.
because he's not allowed shoes in there, but he says, you know, I don't need any. He's talking about a pipe. Would you understand a pipe?
No.
A pipe with his father?
Oh, maybe I can ask.
Yes, ask her, yes. And does she know Daisy, please?
Oh, you asked on my reading if she knows a Daisy, and she couldn't think of a Daisy.
Yes, because Daisy is wanting to connect with her, and I do believe that she wants to guide your mother.
Okay.
And she's very much with her, so yes, I do remember asking about Daisy.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I don't forget.
Oh, that's lovely. So would Daisy be a guide for her?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you remember the poncho that somebody used to wear? The poncho?
Poncho.
70s poncho.
Yes, I do.
Yes. And it was knitted in a sort of a peach colour.
Yes.
Did you used to wear it?
Did you used to wear it?
No, I think my gran.
Yes, she had a peach coloured poncho.
Yes.
And she always used to wear it, yes. She's blowing you a kiss.
Oh, I'll blow one back to her.
Yes. And she's saying, I've got rid of my stick now, dear.
Good.
I've thrown it away, I don't need it anymore, it's just a memory.
Fantastic.
Where have those two gone?
They're back now.
We're back.
What was it, my dear?
Oh, it was a 6 foot white rat.
Did something fall down?
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yes. Perhaps you overpowered it.
Oh, I did, yeah. With my presence, pure presence.
Yes. I think Elaine is feeling rather guilty because she forgot to bring you a present this time.
Oh, my shop's open tomorrow.
Now, we do have another Lillian here over this side of the room. And this would be Grandmother Lillian. You see, she's coming in. She is mother to somebody that is still existing upon the earth. And her name is Lillian. And she says there's so many Lillians in spirit, you know, but I am here tonight. And I had very bad legs. They were swollen and ulcerated.
We can take that, Jonathan, thank you.
Yes, and they had to be bandaged up quite a bit because they were very, very sore. They were sore.
Yeah, that's true.
And both of them became ulcerated, and it was a very swollen knee here.
That's true.
And it almost would swell up to a square shape. You see, it's like very painful for her, bless her. And she says, you know, my legs are gorgeous now. She said, hey, you know, never mind about anyone else being a hottie, I am. I was a little bit of a character in my day. Yes. So she said, I got the hottest legs in spirits. She said, I can fly as well. That's great, isn't it, you know? So she's really cheering you up there. She's saying, you know, I've been gone quite a while.
She has.
Quite a few years now. But sometimes it seems like yesterday when you look at my old photographs. And she says that there is a photograph of her somewhere where she was young.
Maybe,
Yes.
And she was a very pretty lady.
Beautiful.
And she said, I could pull them, you know. I had looks to kill. and I loved it because all of the men would pay attention to me. But I only had eyes for one man. And that was my beautiful husband. I loved him and he was with me. And we are together always. We had a long marriage. So you know, most of the relationships here, you seem to work at them these days. But you know, do try. And she says, send my love to everyone that I care about.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming here tonight so that I can do it. And she says, pennies from heaven, dear. You keep finding them. Have you been finding them?
Yeah, we've got some.
Yes. She said, well, you never know why. If you collect them, they might add up to something. Not a holiday in the Bahamas, though. But she says there is some money to come to somebody.
Oh, that'd be good.
She said there's somebody trying to get hold of some sort of inheritance.
Oh.
And they're having a bit of trouble with it at the moment. And she said it is a friend of yours. So you will probably hear about it sooner or later.
Okay.
Yes. Now we do have Jason. Jason. You see, on the earth.
Yes.
And love goes out to him.
Yes.
Love goes out to him, and he is sort of getting better, isn't he? He's moving
Yes.
forward a little bit, beginning to understand where he's going to go now.
Yes, we have.
Yes. Now what I see here is 4 boxes, you see, and 4 ticks. One of the ticks turns into a cross, because there is a decision about that 4th tick that doesn't really resonate with somebody, and I see that somebody has had to fill a formal thing in, and they've got to make a decision about things, and they've got to put some ticks in some boxes. You see? So somebody has recently filled this form in the last 3 days. And I think that they are making a good choice, you see, by crossing the last box out and then letting the other 3 have ticks in them, you see? Do you understand it, everybody?
Could it be a survey?
Yes.
Okay, I can take that then.
3 boxes ticked and 1 crossed.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we do have a lady here. Thank you, my dear. Yes. Now this lady is telling me that her name is Anne. And she's a blonde lady. She's a blonde lady, probably in her 60s, that passed to the spirit life. And she's got coloured hair, which was a little bit grey, but she coloured it blonde.
Yeah, I can take that.
You see? And she's motherly. And I don't know if she's motherly to you, my dear.
No, she's not.
But is she a friend of yours?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yes. And she was such a lovely woman. And she was always believing in keeping herself warm here. You know? And she was one to say, well, if you don't feel right about it, say something. But she is saying that there is somebody on the earth that she wants to get through to. Would you understand?
Her daughter?
Yes, her daughter. I was about to say her daughter. And she is saying, give her my love and tell her that I'm with her. Does she believe in this sort of thing?
She does. Yeah.
Wonderful. What a pity she isn't here tonight. And she's mentioning Ella. Ella. The name of Ella. So maybe ask the daughter about that. And she is saying the daughter is going to move.
She's trying to, yeah.
Yes, well tell her from mother she will have a successful move. And I have chosen the place with her. You see? It's like mother's choice. And she made good decisions. She made bad decisions sometimes. But she says, I will make the right choice and help my daughter find her new home, which is coming in less than a month. So tell her, you see, I love her. I love her so much. And she will be happy in her new home. And it won't be too far away from there, where she is. But she will prefer this new place.
Thank you.
Now, I see her daughter there is another daughter connected to that daughter.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, so she just has the one daughter, yes?
She's got 2 daughters, but one is in spirit.
Yes, well, the other daughter is here. The daughter that I'm talking about is here with her mother.
Yeah.
And she's giving her love to her. Say, my beautiful girl. Tell her that she's here with me. I think she'll cry, but you know, at least she'll know. Won't she? Thank you, my dear, for doing that, because she is over the moon that you're going to tell her. And that will make her cry, but it will be a cry of joy. Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You are welcome, as ever. And any more questions, please? I hope that you're not getting bored in the corner.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is
I was going to say that. There's a lady
Right.
at the
Oh.
back there.
Hi. Kerry would like to know if her Uncle Dave is okay and does he have a message for Pete?
Yes, is Pete the son-in-law or something here?
His brother.
Oh, his brother, yes. I want to say that there's a son-in-law there that he had. Would you understand that? He's talking about a son-in-law. But the most important thing he's saying to Pete is, he's saying that he's got to get something sorted out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he's just had a stroke.
Yes, you see? And now he's got to look after himself because he's going to be on some blood medication.
Yeah.
Something to thin the blood.
Yeah.
And he is saying that, he's got to take things easier now.
Yeah.
Because he's been rushing around for the past few years. He's been getting very stressed.
Yes.
And stress is not good for that sort of thing. And there are things that he cannot do now that he did before.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while to get back on track again, but he will do it. But after that, not so much of that what he was doing before. And was he smoking?
No.
That's a good thing, because that would make it worse. Because he's not smoking, that is going to help his recovery. Now, I see that this man is not that old.
Yeah, no, he's old.
Well, he is saying that he's got to take care of himself in the latter years, because when you get older, you slow down a bit. It's just one of those things. He's done well up until now, but we are taking good care of him. We are sending him healing and give him my love.
Thank you.
Bless you, my dear.
Jonathan, could you tell us if there's any news on Dave Edwards, please?
Yes, is this a relative of yours?
No. Very dear friend.
Yes. He is saying that he's talking about the old ticker, would you understand?
I would, yes.
Would you understand that that gave up on him?
Yes.
Would you understand that he had a heart attack? Something to do with him clamping here, clamping.
It was a complicated situation.
Yes. Would you understand that he'd had a previous operation? Somewhere in his body? Something of a cut here.
That I'm not sure about.
Yes. You know, I think I'm going to bring somebody through in a minute. This you see, I've got to get the both of them in here. There was a man here that was murdered. And he was around about 23 to 25 years old. He was stabbed. You see, he was killed and a stab to the stomach. You see, he's in here now, and he says, you know, my mother, my mother, my mother. There's somebody in here that knows my mother. Sarah? Sarah? He's calling out Sarah. Sarah in here, Sarah in here. Would you understand? Anybody understand? Sarah.
No.
We will help you, sir, don't worry. Now, going back to your gentleman there, he is absolutely fine. He has made the transition, and he's got a hat on, would you understand?
Yes.
He said, I lived and died in that hat. He said, I look like something out of Emmerdale. Would you understand?
Yes.
Would you understand this is like a tweed hat?
Yes.
And it had a little popper in the front of it so you could wear it down or up.
I believe so.
Yes, he said, as soon as I went out of the door in the morning, that went on my head. I lived and died in it. And I want you to know that I still got it on. It didn't come off. I'm sure I glued it on. He's made the transition, you see. He's taking his hat off, actually. And he's saying, well, I've got to take my hat off. They're a lady's present.
Oh, that would be right.
And he's got the matching jacket. You see? He said, well, I was a very fashionable man, Jonathan. You know, in the old times. But I love you both.
Oh, bless him.
I used to chat to you for ages.
That's right.
You couldn't get rid of me.
Oh. You want to, yeah.
But now you have, because I'm dead. But I'm actually alive. I'm just dead in the sense of bodily wise, but I'm alive in spirit.
Jonathan, does he spend much time with Kath?
He does, yes. Is that his granddaughter or something?
No.
Because whatever he says is, it says money, money. Money, there's going to be money for her.
Oh, that's nice.
There's going to be a sudden amount of money coming to her. She's got to behave with it, she's got to spend it wisely. You see?
Okay.
And she's not going to be a millionaire, but it's going to be enough to have a good time on.
Good.
Maybe I could hand it to her in my hat. He's spilling the notes out, they're popping out.
Thank you.
It's several £100. She needs it. She needs it. She wants to get something new. So will you tell her I'm fine?
We will.
I'm happy as Larry here, he calls it. Yes.
Thank you.
And he's saying these boots were made for walking.
Yes,
Would you understand that?
totally, thank you.
Yes. He's having a bit of a laugh about it as well.
Jonathan, can I ask you, I've just started a rescue circle here with these lovely ladies. Can you tell us if we're on the right path and do we have the right people within our circle?
I think that you do if you resonate with them. How do you feel about sitting with them?
I think it's a good group, and
Yes.
even though some people in there are quite new, it does run lovely. This is the first kind of circle that I've run though, so I just want to make sure I'm doing it right really.
Well, yes, it is putting up your protection, isn't it?
Yes,
But this young lad is coming to you because he wants help.
yes, I felt that, that's why I was asking the question.
Yes,
We
he
meet
said.
There's
tomorrow
always
night.
one, isn't there? Always one.
We meet tomorrow night, so
He's not bad.
No,
He
no.
just wants his family to know that he's doing fine. He doesn't know how to get through to them.
okay.
He just needs your help.
Okay, thank you.
And he's saying, "I'm so glad that I've reached you, because you are going to make me so happy."
Oh, bless.
And he says, "Thank you. Thank you for doing these rescue things because they are needed. It's rare, but it's needed."
That's good to hear, thank you.
Okay. We have, thank you. Oh, I see, yes. This is getting confusing in here. Now we will have a couple more questions. I do not know what your earthly time is, but I feel it
I'll
is
tell you
coming.
about 7.
You don't want me to go, do you?
No. We've got 2 more questions. We've got this lady here and one at the 3.
Yes.
Lady at the back and then that chap.
Hi Jonathan, what it is there's a group of us, there's 3 of us in the room here, and what it is we're training to be psychic surgeons,
Ah,
and I've got a guide that's working through me at the moment through healing, and healing has changed when we're working. I've got a guide, his name is Haniel.
yes. And he's calling himself Dr. Haniel.
Sorry.
Yes, it doesn't matter. You can just call him Haniel if you want to. And would you understand the name Amit?
Amit.
Amit.
No.
Amit Haniel. So he is there, and he is saying, you're not training for it. You are it. You have to be born with that. You can never go in and you can develop it. You see, you're either having it or you don't. But you have been born into the world with the gift, and then you develop it rather than train for it. It's not like doing a college course. It's not a training. It's teaching and owning and developing and trusting and protecting. All of that. And once you've got that in place, the world is your oyster. You can go ahead and do it. You see. So you can't just say, well, I'll do that, and that. Stick at one thing and be good at it. Maybe have another string to your bow, and perhaps something alongside that will complement it. But yes, I see it coming along nicely. I do.
Okay, so we're on the right path in with the group.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan, hi. About 6 months ago, my mum became unwell, and she's now she has difficulty communicating. So I just kind of wanted to know, or we wanted to know, my sisters, how she's feeling.
She is feeling a little frustrated at this time, and a little unwell. You understand? She is needing a lot of comfort and healing, and we will go to her and give her healing, of course. But is she finding it hard to communicate?
She is, yeah.
Yes. So I see that, does she want to write things?
I don't think she'll be able to actually.
Because what I see is a stiffness on one side of her body.
Yeah, that's correct.
You see, like a stroke, would you understand?
Yes, it's true.
And she is having very much of a difficulty communicating with you and speaking. And I see that it's going to take time to get the help that she needs for it. You see? So we're sending her love and healing as much as we can.
Thank you.
Hello again, Jonathan.
Hello, sir.
Hello. We have a dear friend, Angela, in hospital at the moment, who's quite poorly, and we're just wondering what might be happening with her.
And I do understand, has she been diagnosed with something?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
With a cancerous condition?
possible.
Yes. So they're running tests on her at this present time.
Yes.
And they're doing all sorts of blood tests and things and taking samples of things. Would you understand?
Yes.
Yes. You know, I'm going to say here that she's going to need support
Sure.
because she is rather afraid at the moment.
Yes.
And she keeps saying about her family. You know, she wants to reassure the family, do you understand?
Yes.
And she's battling things and battling her thoughts and battling her fears and battling the illness. Now I do see her going into a scanning machine.
That's right.
Like she has had to have a body scan here.
She has.
And she was very fearful of that because she doesn't like being closed in anyway. But she was very brave. She went through with it. And has she had the results? I don't know if she's had the results of this yet. But I would say that they may do a repeat of something there just to make sure. But I would say that give her all of your support and healing, and everyone in this room send the healing prayers out to the lady that is in that position.
Thank
Or
you.
anybody else that is in that position that is suffering at this present time. Send your healing thoughts out to them while we are here.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You are welcome. Now she does have a gentleman in spirit that loves her very much. And I do believe that he is connected to her by hand. You see, Father?
Yes.
And he is saying, you know, I'm standing with my daughter. And I'm doing the best that I can to give her healing.
Thank you so
Now he's talking about a moustache being with him.
Stubble, probably.
Yes. Bit unshaven here.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, in my day it would have been, you know, the moustache or not, you know. I did have a little bit of stubble. Yes. So, thank you. Can I give somebody the music of Jean Genie?
Take it now.
Yes? Would you understand that somebody had a David Bowie music played at their funeral? And it's Major Tom, you see. That, I am told. So you will find out, I'm sure. It has been requested to be played at a funeral. They have all sorts of music at these funerals, you see. Yes. And I want to say to somebody in here, Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. You see? They did the back. Yes. So somebody is saying that they would have had a Bible in life. It was a lady that had a Bible in life. She had a big Bible in her drawer and she would get that out. She believed greatly in God and Jesus, which are real, of course, yes. But they're sort of praying here. Do you understand? Praying, and she would be very much Christian-like. And she was another Violet. And she was quite a big lady, big in build, you see, tummy-wise and weight-wise. And she is here saying to you all, she is saying that, you know, the spirit world is very real. And when I went to the spirit world, I understood that I took my Christian values with me. But when you get there, you lose all of that. And none of that matters anymore. What matters here is what you do with God, what you do spiritually, and how you help other people, and how you learn to love yourself and others. That's all that matters. You could go out and do whatever else you wanted to do, but that is what is the most important thing, is that you teach people how to love, and you teach you how to love you, and you spread the message of the spirit life around. You know, it's very important. Her name is Violet, if anybody wants to connect to her. She's a very strong-natured woman, and she was Auntie Violet.
I've got an Auntie Violet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you understand that she was this Bible?
What, sorry?
A Bible connected with her?
I don't know.
This one has the Bible in the drawer, you see.
I've got possible.
Yes. So just take note of what she says, because what she is saying is true. And I see that your trance is coming along nicely, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we are very proud of you.
Thank
Because
you.
since I saw you last, you have come along leaps and bounds.
Thanks to Sandra and
Yes.
yeah.
Doing very well. Doing very well. Yes. Becoming more clearer by the day. Once one coughs, they all do it.
Turned into doctor's surgery.
It's like
Yes. So I will give one more lot of healing, and whoever is meant to come to me will.
Go!
Is somebody going to catch this lady?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Sorry. No, you're all
That's all right. Just stay a little bit. Just let your body go. I think she's going to need somebody behind her in a minute. Preferably a man. Somebody with strength. You feeling yourself going? All right. Go. That's it. On. Let go. Just let yourself go. Trust. That's it. Further back you go. Do you trust me to let you go further? Just relax. Now Elaine cannot see how far back she's gone. How far back are we going?
Quite a bit,
Going a bit further. Is she going back?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Because I don't want her to go on the floor. She's going. Yes?
Yes.
Get ready to support her. That's it. Take a deep breath. It's fine there. Okay? It's all right. How far back has she gone?
45 degrees.
bending off.
It's all right, my dear. Just trust me. I'm doing it. It has to be mended. It has to be mended. Just trust me. Just trust me. Trust me. She's deeply relaxed.
right. Thank you.
Let me go back to your chair. Let somebody lead her back to her chair. She's not
I
going to
think
fall.
I will. Thank you so much.
Feels quite fine in a minute.
Oh goodness, I'm starving.
There's food around the corner.
We've got biscuits. Okay.
Just see what we can do.
Yeah. They completely.
We have time for one more, then we have to go.
Debbie, thanks.
I'm going to do what is needed down here. I may need some men to support this one as well.
Do you want to?
Don't be afraid. Is this, we have a sir or do we have a madam here? Beautiful. You ready? Now when I go to you, I see it's all in the mind.
Yes.
Fear, isn't it?
Yes.
I want you to trust me. I want you to close your eyes. Get ready, these two. Get ready. I'm going to put you to sleep now. He's going to go. After 3. Relax. Come on. Now you have to let Elaine know she's going because she doesn't always trust. She will trust me on this one. She's going to go.
She's going.
She's relaxing.
She's going. She's going.
Just close your eyes and trust me. You won't fall, my dear. You're just there to support you. Miracles never cease to exist, do they? She's going. And does anybody see where she's going?
She's going down.
She's going.
There you go, then.
Let go. Don't be afraid. So much love is going through you right now. I'm afraid this one is going to go a bit further. Let's see. You feel nice and relaxed now.
She's relaxed.
That's it. Ready to sway out her. She's going to go onto the floor. She's going to go onto the floor. That's it. Get ready. Just let her go. She'll make in a minute. You see, we can do anything. We can heal. Your guides can heal. Trust in them. They love you. They want to show you our miracles. Jesus is present in here tonight. And he is, believe me. You see what he'll do. He is not here to, we're not here to hurt anybody, we're here to love.
You all right, honey?
Wake now. Okay, my dear, how do you feel? Have your drink.
I'm very buzzy.
Nice though.
know. Time is.
9:30.
9:30. You'll not lose, you'll do it.
Yes. Okay. That's it. We're going to do one more and then we're going to go. Who is going to dare to come up here?
Who's brave? Come on.
Wanted to have
She's feeling emotional.
We could have a male victim. Come on, victim.
And he will go down as well if you're able to.
Yeah, he'll go down quicker.
I ain't holding him up.
Don't sit down there, you were so needed this time, mate.
Two good strong men for this one. Now you relax.
Dodgy knee.
Trust.
Last one done my knee.
Have been something to go back.
Yes.
We will not hurt you, we will free you. Give it a couple of minutes and he will go. Just trust. Go with it. Just don't focus on anything. Just put love. Accept the love. Breathe it. Okay, you're ready. And he will go. I think he will go down quicker than the rest. It doesn't matter what pace he goes down at. How do you feel, sir? He's going to sleep. He's going to sleep. He's going to sleep. Go on. Go. Go. Are you ready for him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You are a strong man, actually. You're going. You're being healed. You're being healed. You are so loved right now. Nobody can harm you. I don't want to make any of you late, but there is a person in here that we have to see to. And I want the lady with the crutches.
Oh.
Be afraid. Nothing to be afraid of, my dear. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Have you ever had this happen before? I'm sure that you have.
She's coming.
I
Patience,
want you to
Jonathan,
time.
patience. Rome was a bit holiday.
Yes, yes, please.
Should we take these sticks? You might this if we take them.
She has to trust. She needs to, she wants to. Close your eyes. Are you there for her?
Yeah.
She's going, isn't she? She's asleep. Oh, my dear. Go on, let go. That's it. That's it. Lay her down. Lay her down. Just rest. Be careful with her. She's laying there.
Yeah.
She's still asleep. She'll come round in a moment.
But everyone's staring at me.
Staring at the wall.
They're just staring at
Everyone
me.
looking at her.
She's fine. She's fine. Just stay with her, and when she comes round, give her a little bit of water. That will be the last one.
I've got some money out.
Would you like some holy water? Come on, my dear. You okay? Give her water.
You just lay down somewhere. Just roll you over. Easy too.
She will be biting the dust.
Thank you.
You okay, my dear? You're able to get her up. That was lovely. Get her up.
This is my bed. Thank you, gentlemen.
You feel a bit weird, my dear?
Thanks, Alice.
You'll feel wonderful tomorrow morning. There you go. Love we have for you all is immense. Immense. And I will be doing more of this. I come back here again. God bless you all and thank you.
God bless. Thank you, Jonathan.
Jonathan, come here, slave the day. Come here, slave. On the floor.
Oh, I didn't know anyone.
What's in the water, Jonathan?
Oh, that's vodka, it's not water, that jug. I haven't through that. If anybody wants to talk to Elaine, if you can give her a couple of minutes just to come back onto this plane. Well, it might actually take a bit longer with her, but never mind.
Closing down. No.
Yeah. Not quite there yet. Oh.